losing me and you. All these years of inspiration and love. Oh, how we live and what we say. It's stamping up and it's our way.
Hello again, it's Pauline, and I'm doing another card from our kit called From the Cutest Crew stamp set. I'm also bringing in the elements of text because it has a little splatter there. You can use any stamp set you have that does have a splatter. I've got some blending brushes here. I've got my row of cats. I've got some scrap bits of basic white to stamp my cats, and I've got my memento ink as well. And then I've also got the dies for the cats, and I'm also going to add in a few die cuts of the butterfly as well. So in your kit is just a piece of basic white base card. I've got a layer of the new basic beige, and I have used the dies to cut this out called textured notes. You'll notice when you cut the largest textured notes, it is actually a little bit smaller than our basic white that's folded in half for the Australian, and I've just trimmed it off so I have a nice even border at the bottom of that. And then I have 3 pieces of cardstock. I've got Cloud Cover, Daffodil Delight, and Granny Apple Green. And just using a drop sheet, all I'm going to start off with is taking my Cloud Cover, and I am going to add a little bit of the Cloud Cover ink to the card. Now, if you've never used blending brushes before, what you want to do is actually just tap off a little bit because you'll end up with a big blub, which is fine sometimes if you want a big blub. But if you don't, we're just going to be adding a little bit of colour to the base here. While I've got that out, I'm going to grab the block and my splatters from my stamp set. All right, pop that down. So you can use any splatter that you have on here. Doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to be adding some splats of ink on there. I'm just going to clean this stamp in between so I don't cross-contaminate my stamp set. All right, and put that ink away so I do not get any ink on it. All right, now we're going to move over to the Daffodil Delight. So grab hold of Daffodil Delight. And if you wanted to, you could even go I just stuck the yellow in the green. Pick up the right one. You can go a different shade. So you could probably even add maybe some pumpkin pie if you wanted this as a different colour to do that. And then again, just adding some splatters across the bottom there. All right. And then clean that. And I will just give my blending brush a bit of a clean because I went and stuck my green in the yellow, and that's okay, it's coming off. All right, I'm going to grab my Granny Apple Green. So Granny Apple and blob and get some green on there. And just keep adding depth of colour to it because you can always add more and stop rather than taking away. So then add a big splatter and another splatter and another splatter there. All right, so that is the 3 pieces there. All right, and just while that's there, I'm going to grab hold of my 2 scraps. It doesn't matter the length of those because I just need a bunch of cats. And there's going to be the time-consuming part that you will need to do is colour in all of these cats. So I'm just going to, I might not even need the second sheet because I think I might have, I'll do it anyway just in case. It won't hurt to have a few extra pretty cats. All right, so we have some cats there. I'm going to colour them in with my blends. So I'm going to use my blends. They're alcoholic markers. I'm going to make them all different colours and different tones, different shades. So you can go ahead and do that as well. But what I'm going to do, colour these, cut them out, and then we will come back and assemble our card onto our base. All right. Okay, so I have my kittens all cut up. I've got my paper. I've gone ahead and cut some blue butterflies and some flowers out of the dies as well. What I'm going to do is actually chop the cats so that they are not all joined. So you've got a few extra cats that you'll be able to colour in and add to the card if it needs it. What I'm going to do is just go around them and trim them, and just so that they've just got a little bit less white on them. Now with this cat, what I wanted to do with him is see, so I'm going to just grab my glue, and what I wanted to do with him was actually glue him so as if he's hanging off the one piece to the next. So I'm thinking of actually cutting him diagonally across his body like that. And then what I'm going to do is this piece will be here and this piece will be here. I'm going to add some glue to the back of him and pop it right on the edge of that card. And then I'm going to take the other half of him and leave a gap there, then glue that part of the cat. Oops, I'm stuck to him now. So he sort of looks like as if he's hanging from one piece to the next. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, so I've got all the spacing, I've got how I want them to be laid out. What I'm going to do now is finish trimming all of my other cats around here and chopping off. You could even leave that little butterfly on there if you wanted as well, so it looked like he was actually still part of it. I might do that. I'm going to just go around this cat. So I might just glue him to there so he looks like he's playing with a little butterfly. And then this cat, bring that up and around. Like that. And maybe he might like to sit there. And then this cat, just round. I need to just go slightly closer with this one just so I can get his bottom in. Like that. Then he might like to, I don't know, I haven't decided yet how I'm going to lay them all down. So with this little kitten, take him in, and then around, chop off that butterfly. To maybe have him there, and then I have And I'll probably raise these cats all up so that they are sitting there and raised up on the card so that it's not so flat. And then of course we need to add our sentiment as well. Alright, oops, there we go. Maybe two cats might look good close together. And then what we've got is our little butterflies. And then we've also got our little flowers on top. Pop that there. And then I've got two more cats. And I'll chop that butterfly off on that one. I don't think I need that cat. So he could be playing with him. Little cat on his own. Like that. Alright, I'm going to raise all of the other cats up. And I need to just colour in that little butterfly. And I'm just going to grab a little bit of Melon Mambo. Just colour in that little butterfly there. So he's got a bit of colour. And clean that off. Don't realise how much ink gets picked up with these blends until you actually start to clean it, and you start to realise that they pick up the ink quite easily. Alright, so that is what I'm happy with the card. I'm going to grab hold of my mini dimensionals and I'm going to glue pop two onto this guy. You could have them hanging off, you could have them sitting next to each other, you could do whatever you like on this one. So it's super easy, super cute. If I can pick up the dimensionals. And all right, I want these two little guys next to each other like that. And then this one, I might actually glue him straight down so that there's a little bit of difference between the cats. And then pop a little bit of glue just a tad on that butterfly and stick it down. And then the same with the flower, just a dab of glue in the center for the flower. All right, this guy here can be flat if I can get him up. So I'm going to pop a little bit of glue on here and he can just sit there like that. And this guy can be raised up. Like that. And just a dab of glue there. A larger butterfly on the back there. This one. Onto there. This one I'm going to raise up. And this one's going to be flat. All right. Going to glue these all down now to my base layer. So grabbing my Granny Apple Green and glue that down, nice even spacing just around the borders. Grabbing the next layer. And then the cloud cover. Just drop him down a tad. There we go. And then the whole layer is getting glued to the base card. And of course, if you wanted to add a sentiment, you can. There's plenty of space on there for a sentiment. So in the center there, you could have any of those words, just a hello. You could add all sorts of things in there. So we've got lots of other cats there that we have cut out. And then of course we could add a little bit of bling to this. But what I'm going to do is bring in a butterfly. My little bit of bling, I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue here. I wonder if a glue dot might be better than this glue. I'm not sure. Not sure which would stick the best out of it. So a little bit of bling onto there as well. And that is the card. So I hope you have liked that in the series of the Cutest Crew. I have certainly enjoyed making lots of cards using them. A previous card that I have actually shown before was this one. But I have thoroughly enjoyed making lots of different cats and dogs and birds. It is a really cute stamp set. So it's plenty of options, plenty of variety that you can do with that card. So thank you very much, and I will see you next time. Bye.
What we do makes a difference in me and you. All these years of inspiration and love.